I'm joined here today by Jared Gooden, who the last time we had talked, had been on the regional scene trying to fight 7 times a year, and now set to fight for the second time in the UFC at UFC 260 against Abubakar Nurmagomedov. What's going on, sir? How are you?
Not much, man. I'm very well. Just got back from training not too long ago. Feeling great. I can't wait for 11 more days, man. Fight night.
Yes, sir. It's coming
How
up
have you been?
quickly. Doing good, man. Doing good. How's training camp so far, man? What point are you at? I assume weight's got to start dropping off. Peaking starting to happen soon. How's everything looking?
Everything's going perfectly. Like if you would ask me, my coach, a week or not more than a week, like a month ago, we were ready back then. You know what I mean? We've just been having time to what's the word, shine everything up. You know what I mean? Like just make sure it's a complete domination for this fight. Yeah, we're at the tail end now. We're I'm starting the weight cutting stage, man. So as you can this is for me the hardest part about fighting is just making weight. You know what I mean, or cutting weight. Other than that, I love everything about it, man. I love fighting. I love the grit. I love it when it hurts. You know what I mean? Like this is just the hardest part, but hey, we're on point.
What's the weight cut look like at this process? Like, have you started water loading, or is it just about eating little salads? Like, what does the process look like currently?
It's all about I'm not like yeah eating salads, but it's just really cutting back on how much I eat. You know what I mean? Like um what was it? What today? Today's Tuesday. It's like Sunday morning I was 189. I'm sorry, 195, and this morning I'm 189. So you know what I mean, weight's coming off. You know what I mean, like I said, cutting back on the meals and just putting in more work. You know what I mean. So I'm like highly excited about this fight, man. I just can't wait.
And so, last time we talked, you were on the regional scene. Since then, signed with the UFC. You're supposed to make your debut. Fight fell out. Finally, did make your debut. How did everything go with getting into the UFC? Because it did feel like for you that was bound to happen at some point.
Thank you, bro. Yes, I'll never forget when I got the call. I just finished training at X3. I was with my friend Nathan Williams, and I got a call from my boy Pete, my boy, yeah, Peter from Florida called me. He's like, "Hey, Sean Shelby wants you." This was for the my first fight in the UFC was going to be August 22nd, but I had to pull out because of injury. But yeah, man, I'll never forget. Like I said, just being in the car, me and my boy Nate were talking about it because I was coming off that win against Trent McCowan for Titan. We were just talking about how the fight went, how I was in training that day, and then I got the call, bro. And I just remember jumping out the car, man. Just I couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? Like I finally get the call. I'm in the UFC, and it's mind blowing. You know what I mean? Like I said, I felt like a kid on Christmas morning, but more than that because it's I'm here, if that makes sense. I'm here in the UFC like I wanted to be, but I have so much more work to do now, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like I'm a very goal oriented person. I finally made it where I want to be. Awesome. Now I want more. You know what I mean? And I want the belt. I want to hold records. You know what I mean? So, like I said, for me, it's just the beginning part of my career.
And usually, when you make your debut, they're putting you, on somewhere on the prelims against a regional scene guy that no one's ever heard of. But for your debut, like it was either Dwight Grant or when the fight finally did happen, they gave you Alan Joban. Like they weren't messing around name wise for your debut.
Not at all. You know, I believe the UFC knows what they have in me. I am a star. Like I said, it's about to pop off. And like I said, I believe they're challenging me. You know what I mean? They put all these guys in front of me. Like I had Alan Joe Bain. Well, I had Dwight Grant first, then I had Alan Joe Bain, and now I have this Nurmagomedov guy. You know what I mean? Like I said, UFC, like I said, they see something in me. They keep putting the challenges in front of me. I'm just gonna keep knocking them down, bro. I can't wait. You know what I mean? And just I see myself as like the UFC hitman. You know what I mean? The UFC wants somebody taken out, they call me.
Does that make it more exciting for you seeing like someone that you recognize instantly when you see the name and stuff? Like some guys they don't care, but others it means more to see like someone that you recognize and that you have watched in the past.
It does mean more to me, you know what I mean, because I've been watching on like somebody like Alan Joe Bain. I've been watching him for years. I watched him since his debut in the UFC, you know, and there's an old saying that I used to train by, that I used to live by. I said, train until your idols become rivals. And I'm there now, you know what I mean? I'm in the big stage, I'm in the UFC, and it's like I think it was Megan Anderson said it, that we're working with coworkers. You know what I mean? Like everybody in my division, even outside my division, everybody signed to UFC as my coworker, and like I have the best job in the world. I get to beat my coworkers up. You know what I mean? How many people can say
Yeah.
that? You know what I mean? People are like, oh, I gotta go to work, gotta see gay ass Tom or lame ass Tom again. You know what I mean? Like, nah, man, I get to see whoever I want. I get to beat the fuck out of them. You know what I mean? I love it.
That is weird when you put it like that. Like, oh, my job is I need to beat the hell out of my coworker in front of everyone. Like, when you put it like that, like without context, like, what kind of job is this guy doing?
No, for real. You know, it's funny because how to explain this? Like, it's funny when like I have to explain my job to somebody. I'm like, yeah, I'm just a coach or a trainer. You know what I mean? Like I try to avoid telling people like I beat people up for a living. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially trying to talk to chicks. You know what I mean? Females don't like that. Like, oh, you beat people up. You're just mean. I'm like, no. Well, yeah, but no.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have people that like when you tell them you're a fighter, instantly like they're trying to find out what you're about? Like it's like, oh, you're a fighter, let's do it right now. Because it seems like there's a lot of people when they do meet fighters, instead of wanting the picture and stuff, they're like, let's put our abilities to the test.
That's funny. Funny enough, yeah, I've had that only one time, man. It's because like I don't care. Like my past is what it passed. I got I was in jail one time, and I'll never forget I believe what they call it, a CO recognized me from fighting, and he starts telling everybody, and then like in my what you call it, ooh, in my cell, yeah, my roommate wanted to fight. He wanted to see what it was about, so he got these hands. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, whatever. So
Can
yeah, it's
can
normal.
can you tell us what happened exactly? Like, I assume you're fighting a regular guy. Like, it must. I've heard some fighters describe it like fighting a child, or they're like, this guy offers me no resistance. How was it when you put the paws on him in your cell?
It was, man, how to explain it? I don't know. I call them civilians. You know what I mean? Like people who
Yeah.
don't fight, they're regular civilians. You know what I mean? It's like fighting. It's like fighting. Yeah, like fighting a civilian or a child who doesn't know what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like I, I love it. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I if all my fights went that way, you know what I mean, one sided, and like I don't have to get hit, I love it. You know what I mean? So it was awesome. Like I said, I just like I can't incriminate myself anymore. You know, I just beat the shit out of them,
Yeah.
and it was fun.
Did you face any consequences? I mean, like the CO must have known. Like you put a target on the guy's back. Like, hey, this guy does it at a high level. Like, see if anyone can beat his ass. Like, he must have known what he was doing in that situation.
Oh, 100%. Like he had a he was actually training under a guy I beat. I'm not gonna say his name, but he was training under a guy I beat, and so that's why I know he did that. And no, thankfully there wasn't no repercussions for it, man, because like as what you call it, like Selman solo stuff, you find out all the secrets. You know what I mean? We fought when the lights went out and when it was no, I'm
Uh-huh.
sorry. Yeah, we fought when the lights went out and it was quiet. You know what I mean? CO's doing his rounds when he's on the other side of the cell, or not the cell, but the other side of the fucking dorm. You know what I mean? He can't hear us. You know what I mean? And like I said, it was fun. I love my job, or I love my hobbies.
There we go. Crazy story right there. But this time you are set to fight someone that normally should be able to punch you back in Nurmagomedov. What was your reaction when you saw like that name was next? Like I assume instantly your eyes must have lit up just seeing the last name alone.
100%. You know what I mean? Like the Nurmagomedov name right now is the biggest name in MMA right now because of Khabib. You know what I mean? And so when I heard the name, I know I needed to jump on it. You know what I mean? It's there's no what's the word? There's no second guessing. There's no, oh, let me think about it. It's got to fucking go. You know what I mean? I'm not the kind of guy that's going to turn down fights. Like I said, I'm the hitman at the 170 division. UFC calls me. They say, hey, you got to take this guy out. I'm there. Bop, bop. You know what I mean? That's what I do.
So, what does a win in this one do for your career? I assume that's got to be like the one that sort of announces yourself to the UFC. Like, you know what I mean? Debut wasn't quite what you would have wanted it to be, even though it was a great fight. But this time, this sort of puts your name out there.
Exactly, 100%. That's why I took the fight. Like I said, again, the Nurmagomedov name is the biggest name in MMA right now because of Khabib, and I know Khabib's going to be in his corner. You know what I mean? Now I get to like kill his cousin in front of him, in front of the world. You know what I mean? Yeah, I just shoot up there. You know what I mean? So again, there was no second guessing. I knew I needed this fight when they gave it to me. I quickly signed. I'm just happy about it. I can't wait. We're 11 days out, bro. It's time to shine.
How do you like the matchup in this one?
I love it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like again, I'm a mixed martial artist. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter where the fight goes or what they try to do. I know I'm better. You know what I mean? He's gonna Nurmagomedov. You know what I mean? You hear the name Nurmagomedov, you think gay porn. You know what I mean? They're all he's gonna do is grab my leg and try to take me down. You know what I mean? So there's no surprise. I promise you, he's not gonna stand with me. You know what I mean? He's just gonna try to dick ride me to a decision. I'm gonna knock him out. You know what I mean? So like I said, it is what it is, and I just can't wait to go out there and do my thing.
When you have someone like that, where you're very aware that wrestling is going to be their thing, during training camp, are you focusing on your stand up to make sure that you're way more sharper than he is, or is there a big focus on wrestling to make sure that you're sound in that department since you know that's what he's coming in with?
It's both. The only, like, if I'm being honest, the answer is both. You know what I mean? I'm sharpening up my stand up because that's where I want the fight to be. You know what I mean? I want it on the feet and I want to knock him out. But yeah, I've been working my wrestling. I've been working with ATT Lima. I've been working with the Lima brothers, Diego and Douglas. Been working with Will Brooks. You know what I mean? Another great guy with great freestyle wrestling. I've been working a lot on, like, I call it my anti wrestling. You know what I mean? Just to make sure the fight stands on the feet is until I get my knockout.
You mentioned Will Brooks there. I always, anytime I talk to Diego Lima, who had mentioned him as well. So I always like to get an update on him. But what's kind of the story on him? Do you have any idea when we could see him again? Like I know there's some rumors he might have been retired, but it sounds like we might be seeing him again at some point.
Yeah, I remember talking to him. I ain't gonna lie to you. I actually asked him the same thing.
Yeah,
He's still hungry. He still wants it. You know what I mean? I don't think he has any fight plans just yet. Nothing set in stone. But he's not retired. He's in the game. You know what I mean? Again, he's been helping me get better so I can he's been helping me on my anti wrestling. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's still in the game. He's still ready to fight whenever he can. He's ready. He's in it.
for sure. Speaking of ready, I'm sure you are, especially as you're coming up to this fight. Like you mentioned, 11 days out at the time we're recording this. But one last question for you, the obvious one, the easy one. But how do you see yourself getting your hand raised?
Knockout. You know what I mean? And like, well, a better way to say it is just in a very violent, vicious way. You know what I mean? Like that's it. That's all it is. Unless the ref can save him in time, it's just gonna end in a very violent, vicious way. That's it.
Well, there we go. We look forward to it. That's how we like our finishes in the MMA world, right? Very violent. Thanks so much for the time, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Brody. And if I could, if I want to thank you again for letting me on your show. I want to give a shout out to my sponsors, Current MMA. Ooh, like I said, I want to give a shout out to my gyms, ATT Lima, Muscle City Barbell, X3 Sports. I want to give a shout out to my coach, Kelly Davis. I'm coming in there for blood, bro. I can't wait.